The crash out. It was the first time she had met up with him after the crash out. She thought she was ready to face it, but it turned out she wasn't. Two people were breaking her into pieces, left and right. She was exhausted, tired of life, family, and the people who seemed determined to make her miserable. At 21, she married the love of her life, or at least she thought he was. It was November 2020 and she was the happiest girl in the world. Floating on clouds, blinded by love, she would have done anything for him. She even quit her job just to be with him, believing with all her heart that nothing could separate them. She was certain they would last forever. But 5 years later, everything started to crumble. During a vacation on an island that January, he asked for a divorce. He said he was tired of her family and her attitude. 5 months later, he reached out again, asking if he could still be a part of her life, if she could wait for him. He said he was still hurt by the trauma her family had caused. Alone, with her family living in another state, she clung to their advice to hold on, especially for the sake of their child. That September, he came to see their son, filling the boy with joy. But the visit also forced the conversation they had been avoiding. He admitted he wanted to try again, but fear held him back, fear of the backlash from her family. She begged him not to listen to them, promising she could give him the love he needed if he just gave her another chance. She was willing to change her life again, even transfer her job just to prove her love. But then came the words that shattered her. He was confused. He wanted to try, but he was terrified something would go wrong. Her heart broke all over again. She still loved him, even after he had cheated on her, chatting on dating apps and speaking romantically to someone else. She didn't know what to think. She wanted to cry, to rip her heart out of her chest and throw it to the sky so she would never feel again. More than anything, she longed for him to tell her he still loved her, that he missed her kisses, her laughter, her smile, her kindness. Instead, all he said was that he needed more time, at least until the end of the year. That was the moment she decided to freeze her heart, to lock it away so no one could hurt her again. She was terrified of falling in love only to lose it. All she ever wanted was simple: someone who loved her for who she was, someone who would laugh with her, dream with her, and make her feel whole, someone who would stay, but that wasn't what she got. This happened about a month ago, but I'm still processing the absurdity of it all as I'm making her a toastie. So my girlfriend is basically a goddess tier chef. She's worked at restaurants that people literally book flights to visit. We're talking the kind of place where you need to make reservations months in advance. She once turned down a job offer some rating authorities consider one of the best restaurants in the world because she ate there as a customer first and decided their garden salad was uninspired and their wait staff were weird. When we moved in together, I quickly learned that despite being a decent cook myself, I was now living with someone who could probably make roadkill taste like Wagyu beef. She has opinions about salt types and doesn't want me touching her fancy cookware. I love cooking, but I'm not about to go to war with someone who makes me dishes with love hearts made of sauce reduction foam. So I gracefully stepped aside and let her handle the kitchen duties at home. Fast forward to last month. She's on her period, feeling like absolute garbage, and asked me to make her a tomato toasty grilled cheese for you Americans. Simple request, right? I figure even I can't mess up butter, bread, tomato, and cheese. So I make her this completely basic toasty, nothing fancy, just sourdough, some good aged cheddar, butter both sides, medium heat, flip once. Standard stuff that literally any functioning adult should be able to do. She takes one bite and goes completely silent. I'm thinking I've somehow managed to offend her palate with my peasant-level toasty skills. Then she looks at me with genuine confusion and says, "I can't make it this good." I laughed because I thought she was joking. This woman can do things with molecular gastronomy that would make Heston Blumenthal weep. She's forgotten more about food than I'll ever know. There's no way she can't make a better toasty than me. But here's where I fucked up. I was wrong. For the past month, she's been asking me to make her toasties almost every single day. Yesterday, she literally came home from work where she probably spent 12 hours creating culinary masterpieces that cost more per plate than most people's weekly groceries, and the first thing she said was, "Can you make me that toasty?" I've created a monster. This woman who can taste a soup and rattle off all the ingredients in it can't figure out how to make melted cheese between bread as well as I can. The worst part, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing differently. I've tried telling her my technique, but it's literally just making a toasty. There's no secret, I'm not doing anything special. But somehow my basic-ass toasty game has broken the brain of someone who could probably cook circles around most professional chefs. Now I'm trapped in this weird situation where I'm too afraid to refuse because she gets genuinely excited about these toasties, but also I'm pretty sure I've accidentally insulted her entire professional identity with my superior bread and cheese skills. The irony is not lost on me that the one thing I can cook better than her is something that requires literally no skill whatsoever. This actually happened today. I love spicy food. My tolerance doesn't reach any dizzying heights, but I can usually get through very spicy meals relatively comfortably. I had always wanted to challenge myself to eat a ghost pepper or even a reaper to see how I'd handle it. There's an incredible independent chicken wing place near me that does various spice challenges, the hottest of which is called Nil by Mouth. They don't advertise the scovels on this, but this particular wing requires you to sign a waiver before you attempt it. Few people had completed it without the aid of milk or ice cream. I've been to this restaurant a half dozen times and always said I'd try it someday. How bad could it be? Well, today was that day. My partner, who also has a respectable spice tolerance, and I were going to try it together. Make it a fun little contest to see who could last the longest. We eat our main meals, delicious South Carolina barbecue and maple habanero wings with Asian slaw. Awesome! Maple habanero is on the menu as very hot. We questioned their heat classifications because they were very easy. We're not convinced they're not overselling the heat on these death wings. It'll be fine, we deduce. Out comes the nil by mouth along with a set of gloves. The wings are drenched in thick, bright crimson sauce. It smells like pure spice and nothing else, but oddly appetizing and makes my mouth water. Waivers are signed to say it's my fault if I get ill because I was stupid enough to try this. Still blissfully unaware of how bad this could be until a chef emerges from the kitchen, stands across from our table, crosses his arms and grins, just to say before you try this. If someone's already in the bathroom and you start to feel ill, we keep a bucket just inside the door that says staff only, says the waitress. Is it really that bad? My partner asks. It has been, she laughs. Oh, okay. We don the gloves. The couples on the tables next to us are watching now. A premonition of, oh God, what have I done, fleets my mind. I start to question if this is a good idea, but the hell wings are looking at me like the Green Goblin mask. Oh well, YOLO in it. We count down from 3 and bite. First of all, it tasted disgusting, like a weird earthy bitter taste. This sauce is definitely based on an extract rather than trying to actually be palatable. Red flag was waving, but it was too late. However, the spice doesn't start off too bad. We're just roasting the dogshit flavor at this point. Yeah, it's awful, isn't it? Laughs the chef. WTF bro, you made it. Probably not actually, I don't know. We finished the wings. The spice is building now. All of a sudden it takes off. My mouth ignites, my lips ignite, my throat ignites. I think someone has literally lit a fire on my tongue. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm gasping for cool air, but every breath makes it worse. My ears start to ring. I'm flapping my hands trying to cool my lips down. It feels like Satan himself has just opened a guided tour of hell and the entrance is my mouth. My partner starts to choke. He stands up, leans over the table, trying to breathe in between unrelenting hiccups. Meanwhile, I seem to have lost control of my limbs, scrabbling around my bench with my feet, tears streaming down my face. My body seems to have developed pores inside my pores in a feeble attempt to sweat the shit out. This pain is unlike anything I've ever felt to this point. My mouth is excruciating, and my whole body doesn't know how to cope with it. This is certainly an akin response to going into shock, and it's just getting worse. Before we can plea for relief, our Lord and Savior the chef has already been and brought ice creams to the table. It's on the house, he says. I think my man felt a tinge of guilt for all the enjoyment he was getting out of this. I got through 3 mini milks and a chocolate milk before I started to feel relief. I totally forgot my partner was even there. When I look at him, he's as red as the sauce itself. His pupils are so dilated I can't barely see his irises. Usually a man of many words, he looks at me with tormented eyes. That was no joke, is all he says. I ask the chef how many scovels that was. 7 million, we're told. Holy shit, I knew that a reaper was around 2 million and I thought the sauce couldn't be much worse than that. What a numpty. Anyway, after 20 minutes or so we recover, we go home, we're all good, right? But then it gets worse. And actually I'm pretty sure this isn't the end of it. We're lying on the sofa watching Off the Hook. My stomach starts to hurt. I drink some milk. It helps a bit. My partner's all good. I'm sure it'll pass. I lie back down as it seems to be the most comfortable position right now. Remember when I said the pain was unlike anything I'd ever felt until this point? Yeah, well, turns out I'd find out far sooner than I ever thought what a pain worse than that felt like. Suddenly, an excruciating, searing pain rips through my stomach. The embers have lighted again, but this time someone doused my digestive tract with gasoline for good measure. The Death Wing has been greenlit for a sequel, and this time it's bringing double the budget. Writhing in pain, my body feels like it's on fire again. I move to the bed to lay down. It's no good. No position helps. I move to the bathroom. I lay in the fetal position on the floor inside the shower, wet from the shower earlier to try and cool down. It doesn't work. I'm screaming internally, hyperventilating, headlight and wavering. I can see the light of heaven and St. Peter's pearly gates calling my name. I'm actually hopping. I do pass out so I don't have to feel this pain anymore. My partner is freaking out. I can't speak to answer his questions. I am shaking uncontrollably from the agony I am in. The pins and needles in my hands are so bad that I can't even move my fingers. I start throwing up on the floor. I manage to tell my partner to turn the shower on. He does. I continue to throw up, the shower floor now swirling with my vomit, fully clothed and now freezing cold. My partner wants to call an ambulance, but I know the only way is to ride this out. Thankfully, it seems that vomiting managed to get enough of the demon spawn out of my system. Gradually, I started to recover. I took a full shower, drank a shit ton of milk and water, ate some bread, and now I sit here typing this tale of the accursed chicken wing that made this atheist see Jesus. And this may only be the beginning, you know what I mean.